did you realise that you organise time in a certain way in your mind? So I'm going to share with you a little exercise. It's from when I used to be an NLP trainer, NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And first of all, that awareness, any awareness is great because it puts you in charge. You become the captain of your ship. But also there's a really nifty little trick you can do with negative thoughts. So I'll share that at the end. So first of all, let's talk about the different timelines and how they work. So I'll talk about myself first because that's easiest. So I am what's referred to as a through time person. So my timeline runs in front of me. So my present is there. So notice it's not in my body, it's in front. There's a downside to that. It means that these types of people struggle to get into the moment. They have to really work hard to step into the experience. But knowing that puts you in charge, doesn't it? My past is that direction, but again, it is in front of me and I can see it. So you can imagine the downside to that is if you're accessing past memories, that's not great. But it's great because you can also easily access your positive past memories. My future, again, is in front of me, but it's that way. The benefit of this is that if we can see our future, it's easy for us to think about the future, to visualise. We're often visionaries, well organised, and quite comfortable with planning, that type of thing. Now then, if you are the other type of person, which is a in your timeline person or an in time person, so for example, your present is here. You are in your timeline. So what this means is you find it very easy to be in the moment. You might get lost in time. You are much better at being present than the other type of person. Typically your future is in front of you that way, but it might be that you don't want to think overly. So, if I was to say to you, think about 5 years time, you might say, oh gosh, that's too far ahead. I don't want to think about that. The past is behind us. So when our timeline is when we're in our timeline and we're an in-time person, we literally have to look over our shoulder to think about the past. My husband's like this. If I ever encourage him to talk about his past, I go, oh, that's gone. That's past. So the benefit of that's past is that they can't ruminate as well over things that have happened. But equally, you're going to be less nostalgic. So those are the different types. They might also be a bit more disorganised as well. Because they're so in the moment, they're less conscious of time ticking away, and they might be the type that turn up late to meetings and appointments, that sort of thing. So it's all very well and good. How do you elicit what type you are? So I'm going to ask you some questions and just trust your instincts on this. So be aware of where the thought occurs in relation to your body. So as I ask you the question, just instinctively point to wherever that might be. Now, often people find it easier to do this with their eyes closed. So if I get you to think about this moment right now, where would you point? So instinctively tuning to the moment that represents right now. Next, think about you 5 years ago. How old were you? So identify you 5 years ago and then point wherever that happens to be. Final question, think about you in 2 or 5 years' time and then point. So work out how old you'll be and then point. And then connect the dots. So for me, I've just indicated that's where my timeline is. Yours might be at an angle, but going through your body. Excuse me. Whatever you get will be absolutely right for you. So you've identified who you are, how you organise your time. Step 2, or the other thing you can do with this, is you can use it in visualisation. So, you know, when I think about my past, instinctively, I know my past is there, and instinctively, I know my future is there, which is useful because, let's say, for example, you have a negative thought. One of the things I will do is mentally, I pick that thought up and I chuck it into my past. I don't want it in my future. I don't want to manifest those negative things in my future. I want to kick them down the road to the past. So you can use it like that. But also, as I say, if you're a visualizer, you can imagine your future self achieving that great goal. And then what you can do is you can pull it towards you so that you bring it to present and notice how that makes you feel. Hope that's been useful. I'm Estelle Reid, optimising performance, productivity, success and well-being. Like, follow for more tips like this.